Very easy to find the way. Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so stabilize the position with the tape. So I will give you some medication.
Yeah.
So this is the anti-nauseous drug. And also some oral tablet later. So far okay?
Yeah. I have a menstruation. I think it's normal. Then after that, I have a bleeding in January 17. So much bleeding. I take picture. Then I sent to my sister. She said that you need to go in the clinic. Dr. Chan checked. She said that, oh, you have positive cancer. Then Dr. Chan give me a referral to go to another hospital. Maybe the second opinion. I go in Chunmon Hospital and need a biopsy like that. The Chunmon Hospital called me to take my biopsy result. I took my biopsy result. Then, yeah, it's positive in cervical cancer, stage 3. I come back to my employer home, then I do my duties like cleaning. I go again in Pocoy hospital because I have a headache. Yeah, the ambulance take me to the hospital. I go home, then again my employer took to my papers from the Pocoy hospital. Then after an hour, she gave me a termination letter to sign.
I work in Doha, Qatar for 6 years. It's a good work also, but the salary is very less. In Taiwan also, I work for 3 years, but very bad experience. And then I apply here in Hong Kong. For 2 years, I finished my first employer contract. She released me because she have a financial problem. And this time again, I find another employer. This 1 year and 2 months, I'm working. I'm working, this is a bad experience because from January 2018 until June 2018, he gave me a full salary. Give me food, rice, and noodles, like vegetable like that. But the July 2018, he told me, I will allow you to work outside. I give you $1,000, no food. It's very hard to find part-time. But he asked me, sir, I will help you looking for other part-time. After 1 month or 2 months, I find the job. I work there 6:30 in the morning until 9:30 in the morning. I go work my part-time around 10:15. I finish around 11:30, 1 hour. And then I go pick up the kid, go back home, do the house cleaning. So I do washing the clothes, I prepare the lunch. After that, 3:30, I go back to work again for 1 hour. After that, I go back home again to do the dinner time. And then after that, they finish the dinner. I go work again around 8:30. I finish around 10 nighttime. And then I go back home. So they have some dishes. I clean the kitchen place. Then around 11:15, finish my work.
Paano patayin to? Sebe! Ilalagay daw yun. Si Blanche. Hindi to ano.
I came to Hong Kong to work because I have kids in Philippines. They still studying. But I got an employer not good. She's a disabled woman. She assaulted me not once but several times. She get my phone and she want it beside her. Even at night when she sleep, the phone also beside her. Even my passport also, she take my passport. After another 1 month, 2 months, I stay here. Her attitude not good, always not good. Shouting me, calling me stupid, you're a rubbish, your family is stupid, like that.
If not, for some, even would say, study.
She asked me to cook for her dinner. When I cook her dinner, finished already, I go back to the kitchen because I forgot to off the main switch. Then when I come back, she said, "Where you go?" I go to the kitchen. Why? Because I off the main switch. Then she got angry again and she make like that to me. Yeah, hit me. You're so very stupid, like that. Then slap me here also and my head, always like that. I cry. Yeah. I didn't answer her. I cry only. Then I feed here. I'm crying while I'm feeding here. She said, "Sit down here." Then she slapped me here also and my mouth. She used her feet to pull my mouth. It's really not good.
I first met Juan at the church where I serve in Hong Kong. So I often saw her, but I don't really have this close relationship with her until the incident when she was thrown out by her employer.
So sad and so bad.
She told me that her first 2 years of employment with the employer, they were okay. They treated her well. From that time, she was diagnosed with cervical cancer. She was really isolated. Her employer avoided her and told her to stay in the room.
Pag tumatawag, "Nasaan ka?" sabi niya. "Nandito ako sa kwarto, hindi ako pinalalabas," sabi niya. Paano yung pagkain mo na? Doon na daw pinapasok yung pagkain niya sa kwarto. Nung mabalitaan namin, pinalayas na daw po ng madaling araw, mga alauna yata. Alauna. Sabi ko, saan na pupunta yung anak ko?
It's just so much. This is Juan. This is Juan before she was diagnosed. She just look, normal, like no illness. This is how she looked. This is how she looked like when she's back. She was awakened by her employer and she was given a termination letter. Her employer already prepared striped bags for her belongings. The employer helped using gloves, that's what she describes me. Her employer using gloves to pick up her stuffs and put it in the striped bags. She asked her employer, that she don't know where to go at that time. Her employer said, "Just go to your church." I instructed her to go straight to the police station at Chim Sha Tsui. I met her there, and when I saw her, she told me that she doesn't only have kidney failure, but also cervical cancer stage 3.
Masayahin talaga siya kahit may mga problema naman. Hindi siya mahilig magsabi ng kung hanggat kaya niya. Yun lang yung kon namin sa kanya. Pag tumatawag naman po siya, minsan malungkot, masaya. Siguro may mga times siguro na nahihirapan din siya. Dahil mahirap nga pong mawalay sa mga anak. Yun lang po, yun lang naman yung lagi niyang sinasabi yung mga anak niya. Na huwag naming pabayaan. Dahil sa kanila naman po yung paghihirap niya at saka yung pagpupursige niya punta ng abroad. Yun po.
Mabait po.
Pagiging mabait, ano pa?
Mapagmahal po. Masipag po siya. Masayahin. Pagiging masayahin po. Kahit po hirap na po siya, humingiti pa din po. Mabait po siya. Mapagmahal po siya. Binibigay niya po lahat ng gusto namin kahit po nahirapan na po siya. Masakit lang po kasi po nawala na po siya.
Ang una po niyang sinabi sa akin, yung mga anak niya po, wag ko daw po silang pababayaan. Yun po yung una. Tsaka yung mga magulang po namin. Kasi gusto niya pong mapabuti yung mga kalagayan ng mga anak niya. Dahil wala naman po siyang kasamang magpalaki. Kaya yun po yung bilin niya lagi sa akin. Kahit pag tumatawag siya. Yung mga anak niya lagi ang sinasabi niya. Naalagaan ko daw sila. Yan po. Kaya masakit po para sa amin. Ganun yung nangyari sa kanya.
I phoned the employer using her cell phone and asked why they terminated her given the condition that she has at midnight. While they can wait until morning so she can seek help or somebody could really help her. And it is really heartbreaking situation when you look at a mother on the street of Hong Kong, given that condition, helpless. The pain, when I look at her struggling to walk and carry the bags.
It's unique in Hong Kong in that domestic workers are obliged to actually live with their employers. So she simultaneously lost her job and her accommodation. Her legal recourse was to initially file a complaint to the Labour Tribunal, but we thought it appropriate that there was a complaint under the Disability Discrimination Ordinance. The ordinance covers this sort of scenario where she was treated differently because of the illness that she had. The majority of domestic workers who face simple labour tribunal cases, the main problem they have is this 14-day rule, whereby they get 14 days to remain in Hong Kong to deal with their matters. Now, they can get extensions from that if they file proceedings and they can remain in Hong Kong, but they can't work. These women are incurring debts to be able to remain here, to be able to get access to justice. Well, that's not effective access to justice.
We go in the labor department at Gleneagles. No, I cannot feel nervous. I want to face to face.
She's actually excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, to tell them that she's fine after what they did. She's fine now. I asked her also, what is your plan? She said, she was crying that time. She said, maybe I should spend the rest of my time with my kids and with my mother. But I remind her also, before you go back home, you have to give them a good fight. Because going home is not like solving the problem. You're just letting them do it again and again to our other foreign domestic helper here. We want to pursue the case to level tribunal even if they offer us some money. I know it will be very difficult if Mom Jess was not there because we don't know what to do also. We're fighting, yes, but we actually don't know the process. And luckily Mom Jess was there. But even the first time we really planned, even if she go back home, we still need to give them a good fight before she go back home. Yeah. Yes.
When baby Jane first came to my house, she told her sister, I just want to go home and die. The employer tried to force her to sign a letter when they gave her the termination notice that said that reason for termination, cervical cancer. They offered her effectively 10,000 Hong Kong to settle and release them from all future liability. Her contract was terminated wrongfully. We asked for wages for the rest of that contract. As a domestic helper, that's not a lot of money. She had no full days off, and the entire time she worked for them, they owe her a daily rate for each of those days. They have to reimburse her for the various medical expenses that she and her sister and I paid out of pocket while she was still legally employed by them. So the basic numbers can be added up fairly quickly. She is not asking for anything that is unreasonable. It's unlikely there's a settlement today. I think we will have to go to tribunal. And I think the employer needs to be forced to explain themselves. If you don't want to assume the risk of having a helper who gets cervical cancer, a helper who gets pregnant, a helper who has a disability, don't hire someone, right? You are assuming obligations under the law. The law is very clear. And even in their conversations with media where they've said, yes, we terminated her for cervical cancer, that also shows that they as an employer and potentially other employers are not aware of their obligations under the law. There's a whole process to make these claims, to file, to then go to immigration and extend your visa. Compared to many other places that domestic workers go, Hong Kong has some very good laws on the books, but it has been incredibly difficult for her to access those laws.
Thank you. 唔該晒。
Hi, this is Jennifer, Jessica's friend.
哇，咩事啊？佢
Hi,
Of course, this is also emotional feeling that you feel pity on yourself. Yeah. So this will become a stress to you every day.
In Hong Kong, we are very much rely on the migrant domestic workers. Now we already almost 390,000 migrant domestic workers come to Hong Kong to work. And for my daily work, I approach different workers, go to the street and meet the migrant domestic workers, try to know them and then understand their problems. So if they have any problems, then we will ask them to join the trade unions and ask our union sisters to try to help them and tell them what is their rights. Usually the workers, what they are asking for their wages, their unpaid wages, their air tickets. These are all entitled in the law, in their contracts, but they need to pay a lot of efforts to just taking back what they should have. So some of the workers just stuck in Hong Kong to get back the few $1,000s which they should already have a few months ago. Baby Jane was terminated because she was diagnosed with cancer. She was terminated while she is in sick leave. She has some unpaid wages and sick leave, wages, and also the medical expenses. So she decided to proceed the case in the labor tribunal. So our union officers can represent her and go together with her to go through the process in the hearing. Baby Jane's case also showed that the health access for the migrant domestic work is not enough. When the migrant domestic workers is employed, she is covered by the medical protections. But once she is terminated, like Baby Jane, so she is not covered by the medical services in Hong Kong.
And she haven't got any salary, so she's so scared.
Yeah, that's what we always heard. Yeah, I think we can start moving. Yeah. Do you think the employer will come today?
I don't think so. Seems like Baby Jane was strong enough to file a case against the employer. And this makes me happy in one other side, because even though she is sick, and going through all these kind of problems, still she got the guts to fight. Some employers will be more aware after Baby Jane's case.
They are already aware. After the Baby Jane's case come out, there's a lot of media coverage on her case. Because the employer also scared somehow, or they are aware. They actually cannot fire some people if they are on sick leave.
So I think the family of Baby Jane is also here.
Yeah. They are all here.
They're all here.
Yeah, the children, the 5.
Maybe the 5 one?
I'm not sure is it the 5,
It's
but
2.
most,
I think it's 2.
last time they said it's all the children. And I'm not sure, maybe some family members also come.
Oh.
Yeah, so she had a lot of supporters today. Hello, Jessica. Hello.
Hi.
Jessica.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming.
Good morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming to the press conference and also the hearing in this early morning. And this is Baby Jane, and also her family is also here together with her. And as I think all of you already know that about her case, and she is being terminated in this last February after she diagnosed having the cancer stage 3. And until now, Baby Jane still didn't receive any the salaries, the sick leave allowance, and also the medical expenses during her the period, the employment period. We think that the Baby Jane's case is very important, it's very significant, and because there's a lot of, in our trade union, we heard a lot of stories about the workers who are being injured, who are sick, that is because of this, they are being terminated. So that's why the Baby Jane set up coming through the justice process to go to the labor tribunal, actually to give a lot of hope, to encourage the workers to stand up to fight for justice.
Stop discrimination!
Stop discrimination!
Stop discrimination!
Stop discrimination!
In solidarity with Baby Jane!
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 Stop discrimination!
Stop discrimination!
好，咁咧我哋嘅記者會就嚟到呢度啦。咁我哋
We go first.
Authorization letter?
I have. Yeah, we're coming.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's okay. Yeah, we can go first.
I still remember the first time when I go with one worker to step in the labor department. She feels so afraid even to enter and to talk with the officers directly, because she don't know what to do and she don't know how to answer, because you have all the responsibility to show the evidence. So the workers, the employer can say, no, I terminate you because of your poor performance. It's not about that. It's because of your behavior, because I don't like you. So you need to go through all these arguments, give all the evidence and cross-examinations, and you don't know. At the end of the day, you win or lose.
I think domestic workers are also rightly afraid of what the repercussions would be if they brought a case to court. The employers are far more powerful than they are. You know, the possibility to retaliate through various means. The problem is that if domestic workers don't come forward, then we have a hard time proving that the violations are continuing to exist. Because if they don't go to court, there's no real record of the complaints happening.
Kasi ano yan, may kaso man ako sa police. Kumbaga, ibibidyo ba nila ang nangyari sa akin? Kasi ano, yung sinaktan ako ng amo ko.
So, ito ang tulong sa'yo?
Sila tumutulong sa NGO dito.
Salamat naman.
Kasi mga abusado ng ibang amo ba?
Malakit sa katulong ko. Nag-ilang ano ka?
3 months lang.
Ilang months ka pa dito?
3 months lang ako. Pero ngayon dito magsi 6 months na ako eh. Standby.
Ay, kinakaso nyo. Bali, sa agency ka ngayon, kinukod ka.
Sa isang shelter.
Natulog ka sa support.
They told me my visa till June 27 and I will come back here or before that. Before June 27, I need to come back here to renew again my visa. But before I come, I go back here, I need to report the police. I go to the labor tribunal, but the case adjourned because they said we need to wait the police investigation to finish it. But until now, it's under investigation. I don't know when. Every time I call the police, they said it's still under investigation. I only renew my visa to immigration every month. Every time I go to immigration, I need to call the police first to send the police memo to immigration. When I go immigration, the immigration will tell me, where is the police not yet give the police memo, not yet send here. Can you come back next week again? They will give me a paper to go back there in immigration again. Very good.
In terms of time, it's really not on the side of the domestic helpers, in a sense that every day means one less day to provide for their families. It's like one less food on the table, one less allowance for their kids. Many of the women would decide to just let it go. They don't want the hassle of it all because they say, I have to go through so many channels, and it would mean spending money, spending a lot of time, and I don't have that. Ate Beverly came to the shelter before I did, and I got to know her case through our sharing. She told us, the group, that she was assaulted by her employer. I was actually surprised that she has been here for such a long time. I didn't know that the police investigation would take that long, or this should take that long. We don't have any word from the police, and whenever we call, or whenever she calls, the police just tell us that it's still under investigation. When the investigation is done, she can proceed to her labor case and get her claims and then move on with her life.
Verse 2, ako'y iyong dinggin, iligtas ngayon din. Sana'y ikaw ang aking maging batong kublihan, matibay na kuta para sa aking kaligtasan.
Verse 3, ikaw ang aking kanlungan at sanggalang. Ayon sa pangako mo, akayin ako't patnubayan. Verse 4,
ligtas mo ko sa nakaulog.
My visa expired on May 15, 2019. If I go to another step, so need to extend the visa again. And then I don't have work. I claiming about 24,000. This 24,000 Hong Kong dollar is a salary from February, 3,410. And my food allowance from July to April. I don't know how much this. My salary in March, and the plane ticket, and 1 month notice lay. This all is. I want to go back Philippines. So that's why, sir, when maybe 2 months, after 2 months, I'm back here in Hong Kong to arrange the paper. When I go back Philippines, they arrange the paper, the agency again, and then I come back here in Hong Kong to work again. Pirma ka dito dyan. Sabi ko, pipirma ako dyan, sir. Isang ano lang sana yun, yung papel. Pero pinapirma niya lahat yung mga papel. Oo, yung mga resibo. Blanco yun. Walang ano.
Bakit ka naman pumira?
Kasi naka-receive na nga ako ng salary na yun, sir.
Ano mga buwan ba yun?
Yung July, August,
Hanggang December. Pero binigay niya yun.
Binigay niya yun. Pero 1,000 na. Sir, hindi na nga lang ako.
Pero 1,000 lang ang binigay sa'yo. Pero
pinirmahan.
Pero yung 3,000, hindi niya talaga binigay.
Hindi.
For the local workers, it may be no harm for them to wait for a few months, but for the migrant domestic workers, actually it's very difficult. The government should make the whole process go faster. Technically, it's possible. I think it's to let them to finish their case in a short manner as soon as possible so that they can finish the case and then to go back to their home countries. It's not a big policy change, but I think it brings a big difference to the migrant domestic workers. They already put a high cost by staying in Hong Kong without any work, and then they need to afford the high expenses living costs here. And I think this is totally unfair. Even they are supported by the shelter, even though they don't need to pay any rent. Let's say in this kind of cases, they still need to extend their visa, and then they still need to like buying food and all the transportations, and you need to prepare the documents, all the photocopies. I do have the cases come to me and say, I cannot because my wallet just sold me. I don't have any money. So you see an empty wallet in front of me and then telling me that I cannot proceed. I even don't have the money to extend my visa. So how can I stay in Hong Kong to continue the case?
The case is settled now, but he only give me that minimum I expect that I asked before 24,000 Hong Kong dollar, but he gave me only 3,000 Hong Kong dollar. I accept. I don't want to waste my time also here, because if I go to the tribunal another month or how many months, I'm waiting. So that's why I accept to give to me the 3,000. It's okay. Money, it's okay. I find the money. That's why I don't want to waste my time here, because my family is need to me also. It's not fair, but I'm accept. It's my decision. I'm alone to support my family.
Covered with nakadalang ano pa? Ay, sayang yung pang ano sana, linis.
Kaya mo na yung ibabaw. Kaya mo na.
Mahulog ka. Saan yung pangalan niya na kano? Dandan lang ka?
Ipaya mo man ati pa. Ati ni tipaya mo. Ipaya yun.
Ba't walang pangalan?
Wala.
Wala pa?
Yung dala na. Yung dala namin taparto.
Ipaya mo ati ko. Nakita na matpad. Ipaya yun.
Pati libingan din pala yan.
Wala. Diyan yung mahihirapan silang mag-lusot.
Hindi kami nahihirapan eh.
Doon nahirapan.
Pagpasok.
Kaya may dugtong.
Matangkad si ate.
Hindi pa pala talaga
Dagan mo yung tungpa yung
So dito nilalagay nyo lang ganyan?
Oo.
So yung candle mo na, dito pala. So dito lang yung ilalagay ko. Yung bulaklak niya, Ma. Hindi ka dito, magsindi ka dito.
Nahirapan kami dito nung pagpasok kasi ito nakatuko dito.
Naawa ka na ito ako magsindi.
Mabait po siya na anak. Ay, alam niya mas maganda yung sahod doon. Halos araw-araw, gabi-gabi, nagme-message yan sa mga anak sa amin. Ano naman, inaano niya yung mga anak niya. Inaalala niya. Kaya tuloy-tuloy ang pagtrabaho niya. Hanggang sa sakit.
Gusto ko pong mag-thank you po. Tapos sasabihin ko po na mahal ko po siya. Kasi po di ko po nasabi sa kanya dito. Nung nandito pa po siya kasi po naiya po ako.
Pero lalagyan namin ng ganito eh. Ang lagan namin, ang lapida.
Lapida.
Lapida. Papagawa ko ng lapida dyan. Ilalagay ko rito. Pagkakuan.
Gusto lang tatang. Magkano yung
1,000.
Kaya wala siyang pangalan niya.
Oo, kaya hinang ko muna kasi hindi ko pinalagyan ng pangalan kasi lalagyan ko ng lapida. Yun ang usapan namin kila Francie. Pagkakuan magpapadala ko kan Francie, hinintay ko.
Wala pang budget.
Wala pa daw.
Yan yung pinaka, okay naman.
Oo, palalagyan ko ng ganito.
Hindi ko wala din mga pangalan niya.
Ganito.
Mandahan ah. Struggle pala yung pagpunta sa dito.
Hello? Yes?
Hi. I'm just on my way to the hospital to see you actually.
Yeah.
Do you know roughly whereabouts you are in terms of which ward you are in? Hello?
Hello, Chappy, I cannot hear.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is Baby Jim.
Yes.
Yeah, hi. My name is Matthew Wong. I don't know if you recall.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Wong, yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah. No, I don't know the exact address. Here in my, yeah. Yeah. Can I send you when I arrive in the hospital, I send you a message, okay? Yes. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. See you. Bye. Bye-bye.
I feel lost because I signed this termination letter. I don't have access to do my treatment here in Hong Kong. You know, if your employer cut your visa and your contract, you cannot access all the treatment. Any treatment is so expensive. I don't know what she's thinking. Why she do this to me? You know, the doctor said you have a 50-50 chance to survive. You know what feeling? That only little hope that you can survive this kind of illness, but
You've gone through all the admission paperwork. I think we'll do that with Dr. Yeah. Is there anything you have questions about? No. Okay, we're good. We'll be back.
Okay, sit down.
I'm going to give you a bracelet to wear every time you're here, so they know who you are. Every time they come in, they're going to want to see it, because they're going to make sure they're talking to the right patient. So they're going to come in and check your bracelet a lot.
And then, did you have admit to the other hospital in overseas? Okay. And you admit in the public hospital in Hong Kong?
Yeah, but it was back in January and February, so probably not last.
Last 3 months, not with
She's not admission. She's been getting chemo and radio at outpatient at
just
Adventist.
outpatient, not admit.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. And do you have a diary for past 48 hours? No. Okay. Thank you. And then please just sign here. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Hi. Good evening. May I have your name?
Baby Jane.
Baby Jane. Okay. Right now we're going up to the Tower 8 first floor. Okay, this way please. Here is the Tower 8. We're going to the first floor.
Back on it, please.
I need to fight this kind of illness. All doctors said that I have only 50-50 chance to survive it. I pray that I will.
Nagmamarunong ako, nagbawa ako sa number 7 na harapan. Ano ba dito? Kaya sa akin? Paano na? Wala ka lang kapag nakakaunogod na hindi 6. Ano ba? Anong araw ka tayo dito? Ano po? Hindi man. Wala ko na ako dito. Hindi mo. Sinilip mo kung wala ko. Wala ko? Ganito? Dito? Wala ka? Ano tinig na? Ano nga kita? Hindi pa awal pa ako.
What's this one? Yeah, your shark is missing a tail, but it's still a shark. See? Did you want to make your pitting popsicles?
Yeah. We should make them.
Yeah. You want Baby Jane to help you make some pudding popsicles?
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta go in the kitchen though. We're gonna make popsicles.
Yeah. Popsicle.
Yeah.
Hey, there's more.
Yeah, we're gonna make some more. We're gonna make chocolate popsicles.
Chocolate.
Okay. Try not to make a big mess, sweetie.
more.
Hey, wash hand first, then you change.
It's cold. Egg waffle. And my dress got dirty.
I think Ethan ate all of his egg waffle already. Did Mary give you the plane tickets?
Yes,
Yeah,
I see.
yeah, that'd be exciting. You'd be good to go. Good to go home. So, you excited to see your kids?
Yes, Mom.
Yeah, I know it's fun.
But my kids didn't know.
Oh, you haven't told them yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Surprise.
Surprise. Okay.
Here in Hong Kong, if your employer cut your visa in your contract, you are useless. You cannot do by your own this. You decided to quit if you have illness like me. You know, if you don't know the law about here in Hong Kong, the helper and the employer, you better ask. Yeah, you better ask first before you decide that.
It is very basic issues. She work here, she contribute to these places, to these societies, and also the government here have the responsibility to take care of them. Human is not like a staff, and when they are sick, you just kick them out and then say, oh, this is not my responsibility. This is too cruel, isn't it?
There is an imbalance in how they are seen as workers. To say they're not really seen as human beings who have the same rights as their employers. They're really seen below their employers. They don't see as people working with them and working for them to help their households. They see us like a possession.
I'm thinking Hong Kong is a big country, high salary. People are very, very busy. Yeah, you have high salary, but some workers, they work like slave. When I came to Hong Kong, I realized that not all people are good.
Domestic work is underappreciated because it's essentially what women have been doing in the home, unpaid, since the dawn of time. Domestic workers provide care for families to enable them to go to work. They take care of the children, of the elderly, of some of the more vulnerable people in the family. And so in that sense, they're really essential to our daily lives. But the fact that we don't really recognize that as a society is really at the root of some of the injustices that we're also seeing.
These problems still persist, and it's one that relates to, you know, the general attitude that a lot of people, including the police, and unfortunately including some judicial officers, have towards domestic workers. Domestic workers are, and so, a necessary nuisance who don't deserve to be treated the same as anybody else.
Cancer is not easy, but when you surrender, you are useless. The most important is I fight for my rights and I fight also for my treatment.